Hey, yo, this is Fearless, back with another video. For those that don't know, last year we ran a 2v2 tournament, where best of the best and other players as well competed to become the ultimate Settlers champions. We had sweat and tears, tons of salt and a lot of incredible games. In this series you'll see some of the more interesting matches from that competition, with live commentary recording during Twitch streams. Some of the games I casted alone, and for others I teamed up with well-known community members. In the first video of the series, Amaschleff and Evolution, who took our community by storm with a very aggressive gameplay, face off against the veterans, Suma and Captain Obvious, one of my favorites to win the whole competition. This one I casted with Steckenford. Enjoy! Alright, welcome everyone, welcome to another game. Today I'm here with Steckenford. Hello.
Hello, Fearless, and thank you for having me as second cast.
Hello everyone. Today it's Captain Obvious and Suma against Amaschleff and Evolution. And as usual... Oh, I can see the map is interesting already. I need a few minutes to set things up.
Yeah, I can start over like always. First of all, the bans. On the first hand, Amaschleff was the first person who had to ban Egypt and Asians against Captain Obvious, and Captain Obvious banned Amazons. So far they play Romans. In the second banning phase, Suma banned Romans and Asians, and Evolution banned Amazons. And then they started playing Egyptians. What we can see from now, we have crossed teams positions. Egypt is on the south side of the map and the Romans are on the northern map, and they have small spots with high potential as far as I can tell. And I say they have a little less mountain, or they have to go quite far from mountain, and the nearest mountain is on the axis. And maybe this game can be already not decided, but it can be decisive to decide how early you start pioneering or not.
Oh wow, you're right. I didn't notice at the beginning. There's only like a small mountain for the Romans in the middle.
Yes.
So I guess it's a race. The other mountain, they have access to the mountain. It's just very, very far.
Yeah, and the problem is this sea in the middle blocks the further mountain they can reach, and they can't get too close to the Egypt without having problems, so it's actually about the axis mountain.
Yep, it is, and they all go there, although somehow in different way. Captain Obvious is making the street, and not towards the mountain per se, he's going towards the axis, whereas Amaschleff is just building tower in that direction. I think they're not quite yet aware that it's the only mountain that they have, because obviously we can see the whole map, whereas they don't.
I mean, it's still not important to have that mountain if your opponent or your mirror position does have equally less. So maybe, I don't know how long this game will last, but the most mountain is on the Egypt side and will the whole game be on the Egypt side.
Yeah, if the game lasted longer, maybe we could see some food exchange. You know, the Roman guy who didn't get that much mountain, he will send food to the Egyptian, who will then mass soldiers. It's not the best strategy too, because obviously Egyptians have a lot of combat power. But we'll see. If someone builds a tower, like in the very middle, right by the mountain, he takes like control of like most of it. So
Yes.
it's very, very important to go there. What do you think are the odds? Like, who is the better team on paper, in your opinion?
On paper, as I already mentioned, I think Suma and Captain Obvious are the better team. They are the more seasoned players in Settlers 3. They played some tournaments, they can handle the stress. I don't know how seasoned Amaschleff and Evolution are on tournament games, but they are not as seasoned as the opponent team. in Settlers 3 or on Settlers 3. They played Settlers 4 most of the time, and at least in this case, there's an advantage to Captain Obvious and Suma. But I haven't been on any training, if they had one. Maybe we see something interesting in this game, but I cannot tell. At least I know Suma is a big tactician, and maybe we will see something special from him here in this game.
I hope so. Really like to see something clever being played out. But I'm not sure how he will handle this spot. Right here, he's very far away. And you can see there's intensive fighting already going on in the middle. Captain Obvious going for the tower I was thinking about. So if he builds that first, the one by the mountain, I mean.
Yes, but I'm not sure if he can be faster than Amaschleff, because it takes really much time to finish his tower and then connecting the Pioneer Street right to the mountain, and he can be pressured quite good from the tower closer, because Amaschleff is... It will be a really interesting battle who gets the mountain. But Captain Obvious is far more aggressive, and if he really gets this tower, this is a small victory right in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and Amaschleff is, on the other hand, very reserved in how he goes there. The tower he's building now is quite far, so even if he gets it up, it still won't cover that much mountain. That's very interesting. Maybe he still doesn't realize it's the only mountain he has, but I think he should by now. Maybe he's counting that the mountain on the right-hand side will also be his, but then we can see Suma is already making the Pio Street sort of in that direction.
But first decisions were made on the Egypt. If we compare, Evolution starts with an iron smelter. Meanwhile, Suma is building a granary, a grain farm. So, in my opinion, decisions were made, at least for in the short term. And maybe they will rush.
Yeah, I wonder if that was because Evolution found the early gem mine. I'm not sure how good that is. Suma hasn't found it yet, but he's building it already, and as you said, yeah, he found the...
Oh, Jesus Lord, he's trying to build the two pyramids. He placed them. I haven't seen... They don't really look good.
They look awful.
The worst. Yeah, it's probably the worst spot. But maybe it's a really, really simple rush. And if they don't buy it, it can be very dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. They're an awful spot, but they're very close to like the whole country, close to each other. And he placed them very fast. I think that's the fastest pyramid we've seen in the tournament so far. So very
And we've seen many Egypts play fast in this tournament.
Yeah. Captain Obvious even trying to spy just yet. It's very early on. He has one spy. I'm not really sure where it is.
Oh, I think there's actually a battle plan going on, because if we check the Roman, Amaschleff also placed an early winery, which is already growing wine. And just only one, maybe, and he's placing his weaponsmith, and it seems like they're going for the all-in as far as I can tell. What is wise, in my opinion, because the Egypt plays an all-in, so why would not the Roman join? And we have to be... Suma has to spy early on, so he can actually get knowledge of what is happening.
Correct, and look at the resources that Amaschleff found in the mountain. It looks like a decent iron and then decent coal behind it, so he's very lucky with that. Because even if Captain builds that tower, I don't think he should. Yeah, he definitely won't take the coal back then, so should be safe.
There's everything he needs. One iron mine, probably two coal mines, I guess. One is not so good, and he doesn't need more for this early all-in. And we can see he placed the big temple, the Roman player, and this is definitely an all-in, an early all-in. And they don't know yet. and they don't react to this.
Suma has one spy. Not really sure where it is. I see Captain Spy, and it's not really doing much besides just standing by the border. He doesn't see the neither the temple nor the weaponsmith just yet.
To me, is it now quite interesting or important how Evolution in this position executes his rush? Because many people think it's easy to rush with Egypt, but there are so many possible mistakes that slows you down and narrows your window when to attack. And there are many choke points, and it will probably all about Evolution in Suma in this case, in my opinion.
And he's going for 2 weaponsmiths. How do you like that? Isn't that too many?
In my opinion, it's too much, because with one sawmill, he can't really build the needed buildings, mines, and his pyramids as well will be late. And the window he is playing for, without a ban, is to attack earlier, where the Roman cannot recruit units or can only recruit some units.
Yeah.
So he should go for 1 weaponsmith, build the 2 pyramids, if it's his choice. But in my opinion, not 2 weapon streets and 2 pyramids. But yes, that's just my opinion. Maybe the other players watching have a different opinion about this, but I wouldn't play that this way.
I think he heard you because he stopped. He's not building the iron smelter, he just shoveled it. And he added another sawmill.
Okay, yeah, maybe he realized he hasn't enough wood for this, and his forester is, in my opinion, quite late. Those wood loggers won't be that efficient, but he has already stacked some logs, so it might work out.
Yeah, I think he would be fine just building the 2 pyramids and relying on 1 weaponsmith and attack just very, very fast. Because that gem mine isn't like the greatest, but 35% isn't too bad either. He has nice, he has early mines as well. They look to be quite good so far.
Captain Obvious has a small problem. He's right now placing his weapon street. I don't know if he realized he's about to getting rushed, because the small temple is being built at his border, and he could have seen the weapon street, I don't know. But he's lacking some stone. His 3rd and 4th stone cutter came late. One of his first is not working as good as he could, and the 2nd and 3rd winery being added are slowed down, and so will be the weapon street. It won't be that much, I think, but it's somehow slowing down. And on the other side, Suma is just hammering his weapon street, which is probably way much slower than Evolution in this case.
I'm not sure. He went for the grain farm, level 2, so he's unlikely to have it before.
And as far as I can tell, I don't see it, but Suma only spies defensive and has no real intel about what both of his opponents are doing, at least right now. Maybe he had one at a time, I can't see it now. Maybe you did mention some of this, but yes.
There was some spy from... I can see only 1 spy from Captain Obvious standing by the...
Yeah,
the
and he sees what they are doing. At least what he is doing.
The other is going towards the pink in the bottom, and I don't think it will be captured because all of the pink's army is standing in one place, sort of out of position. Okay, and Evolution actually goes with the 2 foresters in this case, and with the 2nd weaponsmith. I'm curious.
And his gem mine is not as good as he might need it.
I think that's a bit of a lost opportunity with how fast he was at the beginning. I hope he doesn't forget about the barracks either.
Yeah, that would be...
That would suck. Looks like his ally, a blue guy, is also going for 2 weaponsmiths. And it's not yet
Yeah, and his
building
ally
the
has the same problem, somehow a little bit bigger with stone. It's not crucial because his weaponsmith and winery are working and can be working, but he's getting slowed down. I think they've thought about pushing earlier because they decided quite quick. But having less mountain for Amaschleff would have forced them either way to rush, in my opinion, because they can't. It's so much they lost, and disadvantage. Captain Obvious will take more mountain, and Amaschleff can't, or he has to invest more for this, and therefore they had to rush either way. But I think they planned it on the first hand.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they just think that they're slightly worse in terms of overall skill, so they look for a surprise attack, which is, I mean, very, very smart. Luckily for who is it? For Amaschleff, or I was forgetting. The mountain in the middle isn't that great. There is a coal mine and a nice gold mine. So he's not like that fucked up yet, but he has to build another tower south to capture more iron there, and coal as well. There's great coal right in the middle. Now they all know. I saw 2 swords, one from Suma, another from Captain Obvious, going through Evolution's land, and they have full picture of what his build is. They saw what weapons he was making, and they also saw how much gems he already has. So now it's up to them to cook up the proper response, which is not easy at this point because they're a bit behind, as you mentioned. The rush was very, very, very fast, and they spotted it somewhat a bit late.
Yes, but in comparison, Evolution already has 17 swords, and Suma only has 4. And Amaschleff has 6 swords, and Captain Obvious has none. This is an advantage we should consider at this point. Let's see how they execute it. Especially how Evolution executes it, because his pyramids need to be still shoveled, hammered, and then he needs to recruit. And this takes some time. And playing only with 2 coal mines and 1 iron mine on 2 weapon streets, it's not enough.
And I think he realizes that now he cannot support 2 weaponsmiths, so yeah, but it's already too late.
Yeah, he's probably adding 1 iron mine and 1 coal mine, as it seems. At least 1 iron mine, but
there's nice coal.
Yeah,
very
easy
close.
to get.
He didn't really take it yet. So, but I'm thinking about the avenues for the attack. It's quite obvious they will go for the Captain Obvious, right? Like he's the main target here.
Yeah, they should go for it because Suma is way too far. They had to move quite far, and the Egyptian, that's too far.
I also think they should spare maybe a few swords, 3 or 4, maybe even 5, and send them to Suma, sort of try to sneak them by and maybe, capture the tower that way. Well, he will obviously be sending reinforcements to his ally, or attacking blue. Maybe they will be able to catch a tower that way. But it requires a lot of spying, a lot of knowledge of where the units are on the map. And so far I don't think they're scouting Suma.
And what Suma built a different gem mine. I don't know how good it is, but it's obvious. It seems to be quite decent and better than Evolution's. But he started earlier. Maybe at a later time they are on the same level. What combat power?
Yeah, Suma's mine is 55%, and evolutions is 37.
Yes.
Slightly better there. But those pyramids, they're still getting shoveled, and he has been shoveling them for like last 10 minutes or so. He's finally getting finished.
Amaschleff did heavenly goods and he didn't receive any gold bars. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very unlucky, because he needed 3, I believe, to get to the power spike.
But he's recruiting. Oh, he can. Oh. Captain
Probably
Obvious didn't send his soldiers to the front. It is still not. I don't know. Maybe he could snipe a tower if he's trying to, but.
I think he will definitely force Captain to recruit level 1, unless he doesn't attack. I mean, he should, just to force the recruit, because Captain is quite far away with his large temple, and he's missing stone at this point. Only 4 stone cutters, but they don't seem to get the job done. And he's pushing in.
Yeah, he's pushing in.
I don't think he will be able to take that tower, but definitely Captain should be recruiting, yeah, and as he is. There's some reinforcements from Suma, but they're not close enough. Let's see.
I think it's really bold to just go in at this point.
Well, that tower will fall, but there's another covering in the back, luckily. And I think
Didn't know. He should retreat and maybe.
yeah, I think Amaschleff is overstaying his welcome at this point a little bit. Killing pioneers is fine, yeah, he's retreating, rightfully so. I don't think he lost that many soldiers there, but he also didn't do that much damage. I mean, it's a fine exchange. I wish he had sent some of his soldiers north. If he killed that tower north, that would have been a
Oh, the
huge
reinforcements are getting attacked from evolution.
Yeah, he's trying to intercept them, but Suma has already arrived with at least some of it. Maybe he will be able to do some damage on the bowmen that are behind. Let me check on Pink's level 2. It's halfway done, and he's struggling with stone at this point. He's not building anything else, and yeah, it was a huge mistake to add that second sawmill, because he ran out of stone completely.
He should add more stone cutters. Maybe he should add another. Maybe he should stack his wood. He's just stagnating at this point, not really using his capacities. But maybe it's enough, because Suma will be a little bit late for his level 2.
No, Amaschleff tried to make another attempt. He goes back. Now I was checking what Captain Obvious is level 2, and I was checking which weapons he will go for. He went for swords level 2, although he's making both bows and swords at the same time currently, possibly to mend those towers. And I think it's good to have a bit of a background in terms of a few bowmen firing from the back. I think they do a lot of damage to swordmen, but not too many, obviously. They get easily overwhelmed. And now it's evolution with level 2, and he should start recruiting immediately.
Yes.
His weaponsmith are not working, unfortunately, because that iron mine that he had originally wasn't quite good, and he rebuilt it. So he should be starting the production again, restarting the production again very shortly.
Yes. Maybe he can run 2 weaponsmiths then.
Suma is sending more reinforcements. They're leaving his land as we speak. That they have it quite far away, but so does Pink. He recruited most of his weapons, and he will not go for the ban. He crushed the temples, possibly to get some stones back. And we'll see. Here's probably
Oh Jesus Lord! You don't know what Suma did. Suma is a totally crash head. He did level 2 bows, and now he recruits level 1 swords. What a big troll!
Yeah, but he recruited most of them, and now he's making only bows. I guess he's
Jesus Lord! He could have made so many level 2 swords. This is a huge mistake. I don't want to trash talk him, but I don't
You
know
just
how
did.
this could happen.
But I think, okay, I want to be a devil's advocate. I think he had the level 2 too late, and he wanted to recruit level 1 ASAP, so he gets there, because he will get there at the same time as Pink does. And he thought, since he recruited all of the level 1s, he might as well go for bows, because like bows are better in larger numbers later.
I'm pretty sure he misclicked, then recruited level 1 swords, and because he already had pretty early level 2, and he just misclicked, pretty sure. I mean, he has a brewery, he can wait for the bows and play now with level 2 swords, because he already made 20 swords out, I don't even know. But this was a huge mistake.
Okay,
But we're getting in the hot game zone, because now comes the attack without the reinforcements, and if the towers at the mountains do fall, it could be decisive, because Captain Obvious is literally dead then. But we have to see what's happening. And they have a lot of soldiers in the defensive, in my opinion.
But Blue doesn't have any combat power at this point. He didn't cast another Heavenly Presence. Now it's decisive. Suma is slightly late with this one. I think there's Festering Fear on Captain Obvious side, so he should cast it.
Oh, there comes the priest. Maybe... Oh, he will probably weaken the soldiers.
I think it's too late. I think most of his soldiers have already died. Let me check if he actually has the spell on. Oh no, he doesn't. He casted the Heavenly Gifts of his own. I guess this tower will fall. Now, what will Suma do? Because I think he maybe should try to counter-attack on Blue, who sent all of his soldiers into...
Oh, this is actually interesting. They're getting the tower. And how much KK does Zuma have?
Well, they misplayed there in the top tower. I think they will be able to take it anyway, but that was a bit of a misplay. They allowed another soldiers to enter. And now Suma, I think he should... Yeah?
They're coming reinforcements right from the barracks. Oh, this is...
Going to be very close.
Oh, they're controlling to the tower.
Now the soldiers entered the tower, and now Suma's reinforcements are also fighting. I think they do have enough to take this tower, yeah. The dust settles, and they will take the tower, but now it's a question whether they can take the 2 towers that remain.
Oh, there he crushing. Captain Obvious is crushing.
Just one maybe. No, he crushed both. Okay.
He crushes entirely. And so does Suma. Suma is crushing. The game is over.
Oh, wow.
This was an unexpected win of Amaschleff and Evolution.
Well, hold on, Suma is still playing, maybe? I mean, I think he should, was complete all-in by them, and he has the farm.
But he's writing GG, thanks, well played. Maybe he's trying to... I don't know. He's sending spies to Evolution, maybe to snipe him.
I think they were discussing whether he can continue on playing. Wow, okay, GG's, it's a nice game there by Evolution and Amaschleff. I think they were underdogs in this one. By a mile.
Truly were.
Even though they made some mistakes in the execution of the rush, they managed to succeed. I think the main issue was that Suma was trying to help, and he wasn't really doing so. Instead of counter-attacking, that would have been better. His ally would have died, obviously, but he would have maybe killed Amaschleff in the process. Okay.
Yeah. Quite interesting game. And therefore, because Suma and Captain Obvious lost, there's a rematch against Exchange and me in the losers bracket.
Oh, yeah.
And there will be decided who goes in the next match. This is interesting that this is happening. I didn't think it would, but now the next game for us will be quite interesting, or yeah, we can fix the mistakes we made in the last game maybe, or getting doomed again.
You can get your revenge, I believe.
We will see. But anyway, Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. I'll go maybe with the stats real quick. There's not much that, I mean, the game really showed it all. Evolution just made him more soldiers than captain. And even though he was unlucky with the heavenly presence, it turned out to be enough. Mostly due to poor fighting there by Suma, I think.
Interesting game. Really interesting game.
Yeah, Evolution had a little bit more combat power, so even though his mine wasn't as strong, he managed to build it way sooner. So yeah, so there you have it, guys. I mean, even potential underdogs can get a win out of a very strong team. And Evolution and Amaschleff proved it twice, because they managed to beat Zen and General, and now Suma and Captain. I mean, congratulations to them. I think they are very happy right now. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you Stecken for casting.
And again, a short game. I've casted only short games. I played only short games. It's somehow like all my games are short.
Bye guys.
Bye.